A very good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all the speakers and attendees for today's session to mark Men's Health Awareness Month, which is in November 2021, November every year, via a series of virtual discussions. So, on behalf of Epillo Health Systems, I welcome our speakers for today's session for men's health and well-being for the fourth episode for our virtual health discussion series. Before that, I would like to give you a small introduction about Epillo. So, Epillo Health Systems, we are a digital healthcare solution management solution company. We want to help everyone lead healthier and safer lifestyle every day through our products and services that connect, automate, disrupt, and bring innovation to the digital health landscape. We are working on products and features to empower people to lead a healthier lifestyle with the information, assistant connections they need to act on their health, and developing solutions, technology with the deep insights to enable care systems to deliver faster and better and more connected care. Also, ePillow has launched a health hub concept, so which is a hub, healthcare retail arm of company, hosting ambit of services like pharmacy, wellness store, OPD, and F&B corners. Taking it forward, I would like to introduce our guest for today. So, welcome, Mr. Aasif Shah. Aasif is the CEO for Epillo Health Systems and a digital healthcare enthusiast. She's been working extensively in the field of digital healthcare since last 5-6 years. And I would like to invite and welcome Mr. Yogesh Kochar. He's founder for YourOneLife and Commissioner Attaché, Greek Chamber of Commerce. I am welcoming Aryan with us. He's a student, a Gen Z, a boy next door. So we're going to be covering all the aspects of men through different genres and different, age categories here. We have someone who's a youngster, we have someone who's a young budding entrepreneur, and we have someone very experienced, again, young and very experienced, Yogesh Kochar, always youth. And so the theme of this year for Men's Health Forum has been making a positive difference to well-being and the lives of men and boys, and promoting a positive conversation about men, manhood, and masculinity in today's world. So before going further, Yogi had to say something. He had something special for us today. Yogi, all over to you.
Thank you. So, I thought we'll start by playing a small game. Health to my mind will then come later. Okay. So the game that we're going to play is going to ask you to think of a number which is anywhere from 1 to about 9.
Okay.
From 1 to 9, multiply that number with 9. Okay. Sum up the 2 digits. So if it's a single digit, good. Otherwise, just sum up the total of the 2 digits. Okay. Are we there?
Yep.
Right. So whatever are the 2 digits, the sum total of that, now you'll again get to a number, right? From that number, you reduce 5. Now you come to a single number, and corresponding to that number, think of an alphabet. From that alphabet, think of the name of a country somewhere in Europe. And with the last alphabet in the name of that country, think of an animal. And the last alphabet in the name of that animal, think of a fruit, right?
Got it.
So Cherry, Aasif, and Aryan, did we guys think of a kangaroo eating an orange in Denmark?
Yes, exactly.
Right. So this is stress. This is exactly the point that I'm going to make here, guys. This is stress. How is this stress? What we don't realize in the world that we live in is this: that we've come to belong to a world where it's all digital technology. It's artificial intelligence, right? That's taking our lives for a ride, and there's a Pied Piper out there who says, do this, and we do this. As much as we think that it's our own mind, we don't use our own mind, right?
Exactly.
We don't use our own mind to do anything anymore. It is always your calendar. Your calendar is driven by other people, and so on and so forth. So the basic reason for health issues is the hormonal imbalance, right? So I'll get to that. What is hormonal imbalance, right? So there are 4 kinds of hormones These are also called biochemical neurotransmitters, if you may. I'm just going to explain to you the chemistry just so you are able to understand, hey, what is it that's going wrong with us? Sir kyun ghum jata hai? Why is it that we suddenly wake up one fine morning, or, we suddenly tend to lose it, etc. So there are 4 basic hormones, and these are the biochemical neurotransmitters. 2 of these are pleasure biochemical neurotransmitters. These are called the dopamine and the endorphins. Okay. So those are the 2. Then there are some happiness hormone. These are called the serotonins and the oxytocins. So what is the difference between the 2? The first one are the pleasure biochemical neurotransmitters. These come when you reward someone or you suddenly get recognized. You tend to get into a high. You have a drink, you tend to get into a bit of a high. It enhances energy, enhances motivation, enhances engagement in one way or the other. And that's very good for you, Aasif, because, that's what you want your boys and girls to be, right? Yeah. However, the flip side is this, that, what you actually need in life is also a balance of serotonin and the oxytocins. What are these? These are mood stabilizers. So just as you have a governor in some of the cabs that we travel in, the cabbie would have told you, "Saab, 60 ke upar raftar mein chala nahi sakta hu," because there's a governor fitted in the engine, right? The challenge happens when we tend to start sliding and then we end up into a crash. Okay. Our brain has 2 cortisons, the left cortisone and the right cortisone. The left cortisone is all about rational thinking. The right cortisone is all about emotional thinking. What is emotional thinking and what is rational thinking? Rational thinking is all about tangibles. Tangibles are things that you can touch, taste, hear, see, feel, right? Those are the tangible. Smell. Those are the tangibles. And the intangibles are feelings. Aryan, are you married? You have a girlfriend, Aryan?
Yes, sir. No, I'm single right now.
But you have a girlfriend? You're a handsome guy here. You should have a girlfriend, have it?
Yes, sir. I do have a girlfriend.
Love it. So, the point is, if your girlfriend were to ask you, Aryan, tell me, how much do you love me? What would you tell her? You say, sweetheart, I love you very much, but I can't just tell you how much, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the feelings. Those are the intangibles. Those are things that you can't see, touch, taste, hear, and smell, right? Those are the intangibles. So your left side is all about the tangibles. Your right side is all about the intangibles. Now, if we go ahead and then convert these 6, convert the left side into and the right side into about 6 odd buckets each, the left side 6 and the right side 6, what would those buckets be? I'll tell you. Those buckets would be, first we'll talk about the tangibles, would be my family, would be my profession, would be my health and fitness, would be my accounts and my, whatever is happening to my banking and my balances and my wallet, etc. Would be my documents, right? Where is your insurance kept? Where are, you bought a refrigerator, where is the warranty card kept? You bought yourself an insurance, when is it going to be due? We forget some of those things, and all of a sudden one fine morning, the notice comes and you say, shit, I've got to pay 40,000 rupees now for something like this. I didn't realize. Well, why did you not realize? Because you didn't just bucket them, right? We didn't bucket them. In the interim, and so that's the one part of the story. The other part of the story, my friends, is where we've got these feelings, and these also tend to get taken for a ride. So for instance, if I were to ask you, hey, what is your conscience? You'd say, I'd have to think. And seriously, even I would have to think. And it's not just about you, it's about everybody, okay? So one tends to fall into this trap of a maze where there is a Pied Piper of Hamelin who's hanging from the hoardings outside, and he says, come here, buy me. Right? He says, I've got a car for you, come here, buy me. I've got a jacket for you, come here, buy me. I've got a shoe for you, just the right thing. And the larger the hoarding, the more it sort of gets into your head. Now, we don't realize it, but this is stuff that gets into our head through our neurons and goes ahead and settles down somewhere. So for instance, you've seen if your mother's made or your girlfriend's made something really tasty. For instance, I love rajmas. My mouth starts watering, right? So these are reactions. These are endocrinal reactions that are happening in our body. Each time we see something or we feel something or we say something, we get angry and people say he's a hypertensive, right? So all these things are translatable. You can translate most of these things into other things. What is a human body? A human body is nothing but just a whole bunch of salts. As a matter of fact, you have the entire Mendy's table, which is part of your human body. We've studied the Mendy's table in chemistry, all those 108, 128, whatever elements, copper, iron, nickel, chromium, calcium, right? We've done that. So your human body is nothing. It's just a chemistry. It's just chemistry. It's just a lab. But in the manner that you've been coded by the nature or by God, it is so beautiful that it works in tandem. So it's like saying that the tire pressure in all the four tires is good, is why the Mercedes will run beautifully, or even a Maruti would run beautifully. But the moment the tire pressure in one of the four tires went a little lower, it'll start wobbling, or you won't have the same feel, right?
I'll just present a contrasting view just to get a clarity of thoughts on whatever you're speaking. So somebody asked me that, what's the difference between an animal and a human being? The major difference,
right?
The point comes to the same thing. We were talking about the right portion of the brain, which makes us feel intangible things. Humans have this unique capability of aiming, aspiring, feeling success, doing hustle, and in the process of doing everything, feeling all the materialistic things, the drive,
the awesomeness, correct.
So if we are to avoid that hustle, what makes us entirely different from just plain animals?
No, you don't have to avoid that hustle. And I'm not a guru who's trying to say, hey, guys, give up working and come with me and we'll have a joint in the evening. I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm not saying that. Okay. I don't do joints, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying do the hustle.
Yeah.
But do it in a balanced manner. Figure out how much it is that you guys are going to be able to do. Right? If the guy says, boss, I'll go ahead and do a 20% year-on-year revenue. And if that's what he's capable of, great. Let him put it down on a piece of paper, but don't push him to do 40%, because then by making him do 40%, you've already gone ahead and put yourself foremost under the stress, because you know that this chap is capable of doing only 20%. You pushed him for 40%. He might still be able to do 30%. In doing 30%, he's overexerted himself by 10%, and you have overexerted by the additional 10% that he couldn't do. Right?
Exactly.
Here is a theme that I'm giving you for your HR interviews, Aasif.
Yeah.
In your next HR interview, as a matter of fact, with all your employees, and I'm glad the session's getting recorded, and this should encourage everybody to start thinking, hey, where is it that they are? Forget the organization, forget every single other thing. Remember your life. What is your life? It comprises of 6 aspects that are heartful, 6 aspects that are mindful. I'm, as a matter of fact, releasing an app, and I'll be very happy for you to even start using that app. It's been lauded by some very famous psychologists in America, etc. It's a happiness app. It's just like Facebook. So you update your life aspect. On that updated life aspect, it asks you 2 questions. Hey, do you want to keep this update private or public? Choose that. Then it says, which aspect of your life does it pertain to? There are 6 here and 6 here. The 6 tangibles are my family, my profession, my sports and outings and cinema and travel, my my health and fitness. Yeah, there are things like my wallet and my monies, my documents. Those are the 6 aspects that are the tangible aspects. Okay. On the intangible side, you've got my conscience. We don't think about it. My inhibitions, we don't think about it, right? We are my dilemmas. Who doesn't have one? We've all got dilemmas, Aryan's a brilliant guy, and he's got one girlfriend, but there's another girl that's vying for his attention, and he doesn't look at her, but he's confused. Should he go with her? Should he go with that dilemma? Right? So we all have dilemmas, but we don't think about it. Why don't we think about it? Because I think we've even forgotten what conscience is all about, what dilemmas are all about, etc. We've just forgotten all that. Why have we forgotten? Because of the hoarding outside and the Pied Piper that says, come here and you follow me and I'll take you to the other side of the moon, right? That's what happens. So what happens is that on that timeline, you update your life, you choose private, public, you choose which aspect of your life should it go to. For aspects that you're continuously updating, remain green. Aspects that you haven't updated for a week turn yellow. For 2 weeks, they turn red. For 3 weeks, they turn gray. What did we just do? I just showed you, imagine this to be your house. And imagine these 12 picket fences around the house. Okay? Now, out of these 12 picket fences, even if 2 fences were down, what would happen? An animal would probably come in, a thief will come in, he'll steal something, even if it's something that's growing in your garden outside, he'd probably pluck a flower and go away, and you won't even know, right? So what is stress? Stress is a straw upon a straw, upon a straw, upon a straw, upon a straw on the camel's back. Eventually you get to a point in time when the last straw is loaded on the camel's back and the back breaks. The CEO of SAP about 8-10 years ago was a good friend of mine. I was in Bombay, and one evening I'd gone to his house to have a drink with him and his pretty wife. He's about all of 42. He was doing treadmill, much fitter, fantastic guy. So we had a good laugh. We had a nice dinner. I came back to the hotel. I was staying at the Land's End. Next day in the morning, his wife called me, says, she's no more. I said, what? And she said, yeah, he's no more. But he was mentioning to me that there is stress. Right? There is stress. So the point that I'm trying to arrive at, Aasif, is this, that in our interviews, rather than, it says, what you touch, touches you. You heard that?
So we have 2 of the virtual world and digital age people with us, Aasif and Aryan being a Gen Z, which is really exposed to the digital world and the forms of digital world. So, Aryan, how does a youth's mental health, different from, or problems different from the other men, you think? What kind of issues you have as a student, as a youth, as a young person? And there are a lot of times, you would feel not understood, taken for granted, or nobody understands me. So how do you, how do you feel about it? What do you have to say about that?
So basically, the stress which revolves around me is like the first thing that comes in my mind is the career stress. Like nowadays, I have noticed with my friends, like they've started thinking about career from the age of 16 onwards. Like what we have to do, we have to decide something, we have to do something on something, we have to plan something accordingly. And again, there's a pressure of parents that what's your scope of life and like what are you looking for. Then coming to studies pressure, examination, schooling, college, and all these kind of pressures which involve like which obviously gives stress to a person like below 20. Then another stress which like sir mentioned, that to release this kind of stress, people of my age are scrolling through social media handles. And I could relate that because yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and that person was like that my screen time is like 2 hours plus on Instagram and all the other social media handles. And again, at the same time, he was mentioning that he's too much stressed about his career. He doesn't know what to do, and he's figuring out things. So these kind of things are happening right now with the Gen Z people. And yeah, it's like dicey.
Do you only have career stress, or do you have girlfriend stress, or do you have other stresses in life as well?
Personally, if you ask me, there's no that kind of stress, but I have seen people around me who are a lot into those things. So yeah, that adds on to it.
Okay. So, and recently we have gone through extensive 1.5, 2 years of COVID and pandemic lockdown situation with around us. It has affected everybody in whole. It has affected students. It has affected people, youth, the working generation. It has impacted the business people to an extent. It has also impacted our elder generation in the house. So, how do you think? And specifically, a man who's been going out every day on day, spending at least 10 to 12 hours of his day in the office or in the market, were bound to be at home, stay with family. We have seen so much of changes coming into everyone's life, some positive and some negative, and extreme positives and extreme negatives. So how do you think, what were or what have been the effects on a man's mental health in this pandemic? This question goes to three of you. I mean, on different spheres, we can see, it has affected, apart from certain sectors which have been out and helping the society in whole. But people being at home were not used to be at home. There is an immense increase in the rate of divorces. There is an immense increase in number of marriages, relationships, breakups, work stress. In fact, a lot of people, psychosomatic, they have not been well. They have taken COVID as a threat to their lives. Also, people have lost a lot of, their own very close family members. How do you think, and what kind of long-term impacts it can make on someone's health, mental health?
I'll take that. This otherwise it'll be a ball up in the air. So because I've figured this out very, very well, Cherry, and with everybody's permission, because I'm going to attack just the right issue. Okay. I'm not going to think, because this thinking has already been done by me for nearly 6 years. I've been thinking about it. So, and there's a lot of research that's gone into identifying this. So I just pointed out, Aasif, and this is a prescription for you and your organization and for all of us. What we need to do is to first establish our coordinates. Who am I? Where is it that I'm standing? Most people, if you ask them, what do? They're going to tell you that they work for your organization. That's not what they do. Exactly. You yourself do not work for your organization. It's a foolish thing to say that, you work for an organization. Sure, we all do. But then that's one part of you, right? Where are you in life? Once you establish that, then you will suddenly start realizing that the work pressure goes off, because you say, what am I looking for? This is my residual life. This is my 5-year plan for my personal life. And personal life has got nothing to do with your professional life. So please do not even mention professional life. Please only mention your acquisitions. Don't say I'll become a general manager or a VP. Say I want one refrigerator, I want 2 cars, I want 2 happy children, I want 1 wife, I want a home, I want some insurances. That is what you want to do. Okay. Exactly. Once you've done that, then you figure out where is it that you're standing. Okay, because you'd have to have some relative sense, right? Where is it that you stand? Only then can you reach somewhere. Most people that you have around yourself today, if you were to just throw this question at them and say, where is it that you think you're standing? He won't know, or she won't know, right? He thinks that the life is just running him by. Why? Because the timeline is moving so fast that he can't just keep pace with it. 72 likes never become 100. When they become 100, they never become 200. When they become 200, they never become 300. So that, my friends, is something that has been unleashed, and that's a huge conspiracy that's been unleashed by social media upon our minds. Americans are interesting people. They don't want to get you into America, because we Indians love to eat a lot of curry, and if we eat a lot of curry, we'll go ahead and clog their municipal systems, right? Well, they say we don't want this shit floating down our, our drains. So what they said was, in India, we talk about a concept which is market share that we're all familiar with. Those people talk about a concept that says mind share. They get into your mind. They're looking at your mind share. And that is what those people are trying to capture. So your screen time is basically his mind share. What is the cost of each user on Facebook? Each user on Facebook is today valued at $400. Exactly. How? Because Facebook is about $1.2 trillion company. How many people does it have? It's got about 3 billion people. Yeah. 3 billion people for 1.2 trillion valuation. Each person is about $400.
Exactly.
What did we get out of this? Those 70, 80 likes? Where are we? That's, it's laughable. So I think
Facebook reserves the mind space of those people. That's what it is selling. According
that's right. That's
going from here, we have been discussing, the effects of pandemic on overall, men's health. So according to Aasif, like you are an entrepreneur, you're running a company itself. Also, people who have been working from home, and, there have been a lot of work pressure, because someone who coming to office is working 8 to 10 hours in his office office space, but when it is going, doing the work from home, they end up working more than 12 hours, 13 hours a day. And the work from home culture, though India and Asia has accepted it, very nicely. However, it's not ending up very well for everybody because the work-life balance has completely disrupted. What is your view about that? And how do you think that needs to be attained in a better way?
So what you've just said, Cherry, is spot on. Okay. People know what is happening. They don't know how to correct that.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know how to correct that. So I've given you a formula to correct it. Exactly. The best way to correct that is not by wondering, hey, am I ever going to go to my workplace or am I not going to go to my workplace? Is my boss going to fire me? Am I doing enough? Am I not doing enough? More than any of all that, just two things, Cherry. And Aasif, if you can inculcate that in the rest of your team, you'd have gone ahead and done your company a great favor, because then you have actually assessed how it is that people are sort of behaving, or how would you like them to behave, etc. Just ask them two questions. That is, what are your current coordinates and where do you want to go?
Exactly.
Then you sit down with them on those current coordinates vis-a-vis wherever it is that they are going. That's the best way for you to assess as to whether this guy is under stress or he's not under stress. So Cherry, you're doing a magnificent job of asking some of these very, very pertinent questions. And I understand that you're asking these questions over and over again, and it gives me therefore also an opportunity to underscore the fact that, hey, we need to know where is it that we are and where is it that we are going in our personal lives, not in our official lives, not in our suits and fancy cars, but where is it that I want to go in my personal life, right? Mm-hmm. If you asked your wife or your husband or your spouse or a girlfriend, said, darling, I'll have to work extra hard to buy ourselves a Mercedes. Would you like me to do that? She said, no, sweetheart, I'd much rather that you come back home and spend time with me at 7.
Yeah. So, Mr. Kochar, circling back to the topic, I'd like to present a few views and then get back to you for your suggestions on the same. So, we have been discussing this topic for health, although health does not differentiate between a male and female, but there are a few issues which are particular to men health. I'll come back to your question of how health has been impacted in COVID times, specifically for men. Mm-hmm. So men health generally refers to a complete physical, mental, and social well-being as experienced by men, and not merely the absence of any disease or infirmity, as we have been talking in our discussions.
Right.
So what have been noted is that an average man pays less attention to his health than an average woman. For example, some of the activities which are very pertinent in male counterpart is drinking alcohol and tobacco use, and making risky choices, and not seeing doctor for regular health checkups. Basically, lags on coordinating and maintaining their major health things. So men are obviously assailed by diseases that can affect almost anyone, like heart diseases, stroke, diabetes, cancer, and depression. But they also have a few unique issues and responsibilities. For issues, I'd like to say, example, prostate cancer and, prostate enlargement, which are specific to men, and specific social issues, such as, being the whole soul earning member of a family, the responsibility of being a husband, a boyfriend, or, or a son, that comes along. So many of the health risks and social issues that men face can be achieved with healthy lifestyle balance, as we have been discussing in the conference, through regular exercise, healthy diet, not smoking, stress reduction through various methods that are available online and offline, lower or no alcohol consumption in the moderate range, regular checkups and screenings. So what I believe is that men should obviously get on board with protecting your health right from today, and take this day and month as a reminder for the same. And on the debating front, I feel that the exclusion of men and boys from the larger debate on health equality has become normal, with men often being absent from the national health objectives, and no specific focus on male-centered healthcare.
Right.
Whereas morbidity and mortality rates in males all over the world are increasing and are really striking, and no attention has been paid specifically to that issue. So what we should be doing, I will come back to Mr. Kochar for his views on that. My views are that what we should be doing is creating a culture that promotes good health for all people through healthy development across the lifespan, shedding light on how government policies as well as public attention can be drawn towards poorer men health and poorer men mental health and the social issues that are surrounding men. So healthy education, health promotion, and community involvement can play a larger role in enhancing men health, general health, mental health, and the social issues that strike men. So, Mr. Kochar, what are your views on the same?
So, so what you're pointing out is absolutely correct, but you're looking at these much closer. You're looking at these issues eyeball to eyeball. I only tend to go a little deeper down. Okay. And I'm going to double down on this. And I'm going to say, hey, is a health issue is an health issue, but hey, for every effect, there has to be a cause. Exactly. What is the cause? You can't just deal with the effect, because that would only be palliative care. You have to deal with it in a manner which is prophylactic. Okay. So let's address the cause. What is the cause? And on that, there's an interesting story that comes to my mind. So we've all heard of Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote Sherlock Holmes, right? Mm-hmm. Arthur Conan Doyle wrote the Legend of Sherlock Holmes. There's a very interesting dialogue between Sherlock Holmes and Watson there, and this should answer your question. So Sherlock Holmes is probably at a gathering and he's trying to preach people like I'm trying to preach you all. वो हिंदी में कहते हैं, कभी कभी तो यूं भी हमने अपना जी बहलाया है, जिन बातों को खुद नहीं समझे औरों को समझाया है. Yeah. So he's trying to preach people and he's trying to tell them that, hey guys, listen, hold on. The surface of the earth is flat. It is not round. Mm-hmm. Sherlock Holmes is saying this, right? Mm-hmm. And he says, ye jo suraj hai, this sun is going around the earth and the earth doesn't go around the sun. So take it easy, right? This is what Sherlock Holmes is trying to tell the people. Everybody claps. He comes home. Watson talks to him and he says, Sherlock, you're an ass. You make these funny comments. You don't even know the basis of the Copernican theory and the fact that it is not the sun that goes around the earth. It is the other way around. The earth goes around the sun, right? And the surface of the earth is not flat. I say the surface of the earth is round. So what does he say? He says, my dear Watson, this brain is like an attic. And this is absolutely correct. It's like an attic. You can stack it up with furniture, which is useful for the maintenance of this attic. It's a folly to imagine that the walls of this brain are elastic, because they're not. Nobody has elastic brains. We don't remember what we ate yesterday, or forget about elastic. We don't even remember yesterday. We don't remember what we wore to work 2 days back, because the brain is not elastic. It just doesn't take in every single thing. So he says, therefore, it's like an attic. And for every additional piece of furniture, there is something else that needs to be thrown out. Okay. So this attic of ours is getting so crowded that people do not pay enough attention to their drinking, to their sleeping, to their walking, to their health exercises, to the other things. That then becomes the cause. And the effect of that cause manifests itself as a disease or a malady in the body, which says the man who suddenly fell off the treadmill and he died.
So we are running short of time now, but we'll conclude the session here on good happiness note. We would say that a work-life balance is very important. It's very, very important to understand who we are. And I am responsible for my mental well-being, and I have to take efforts for that. So, eat well, exercise, regulate your timings, prioritize your life, prioritize yourself, your family, and then your work. So, it says healthy mind, is, healthy mind is for the healthy body, and a healthy body is going to lead you for a healthy lifestyle. So everything has to come together to, be stress-free and everything. So we would see that, we would like to do more sessions on health, and we will be doing more sessions, we are sure. But I will take this opportunity to thank all of our guests today. Thanks, Yogi, for wonderful insights, and your experience has been, impeccable in terms of, spreading happiness, spreading a lot of enlightenment towards these topics. And Aasif, you're doing a wonderful job in digital healthcare domain. And would you like to tell us a little bit about Epillo and how it is going to help people lead a healthier and safer lifestyle? And thank you, Aryan, also for participating. So coming back to Aasif, can you give us a little detail how and what Epillo is trying to do, for a good, healthier and safer lifestyle for people?
More or same on the same lines that Mr. Kochar said, that taking care of people's mental well-being is an important issue. We at Epillo are concentrating on this larger concept of health and well-being, where we cover digital tools that give people the power to connect with healthcare providers and automate their services, including healthcare, health monitoring, the tools to monitor their health for serious chronic issues and ranging from wellness to serious chronic issues. With our retail arm called Epillo Health Hub, we are hosting an ambit of services, including a fresh, healthy food and beverages corner, continuing into a pharmacy and consumer product area, and then further continuing into a OPD and specialist EOPD area. A concept which is very international, and we have already started that, and we are bringing up the concept in multiple numbers in Northern India, and that's what we are particularly doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We look forward to that. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. And that was all for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kochar.
Lovely. Thank you.